What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog here with another New York Yankee video. Thank you for watching. As always, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. Always helps out the video huge. Hit the subscribe button. Ring a ding, ding, ding the bell, because there's going to be a lot more Yankee content coming on, over the course of the summer and everything else. So hopefully you guys will like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And last night, the Yankees lose 3-2 in 10 innings to the Boston Red Sox. In their 6-game homestand, they go 2-4 against two of the worst teams in the American League, the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago White Sox. 2-4 against those two teams. The Yankees had a total of 3 hits in 10 innings last night. This team is hard to watch. Every year it's the same damn thing. I mean, every freaking year it is the same thing. You know, I was doing a game with my guy Pete earlier in the year. They played the Padres and they had a 7-run inning, and they didn't hit one home run. And it was extremely rare to see the Yankees actually put together an inning where they have 8 hits to build a rally and score 7 runs. Now, I don't expect 7-run innings every night, okay? Those are rare. But I would like to see the Yankees string together 2 or 3 hits, a single, double, single, 2 runs right there, something like that. It would be nice. How about not having one of the worst at-bats in the history of mankind? Jose Trevino has been absolutely terrible. Platinum glove, tinfoil bat, as I call him. I don't have a platinum glove anyway, ain't any good anyway. But strikes out, the man on third, and then of course Volpe strikes out, and this Yankee team is the same every year, and it's been the same under Boone every year, and I see the same shit every year. This team beats up on bad teams. They should beat Cincinnati. They should beat Oakland. They're 6-0 against those two teams. Okay, the Yankees have a $300 million payroll. They should be able to beat up on small market teams, which is what they do, which is how they make the postseason every year. Okay, Cincinnati, Oakland, Pittsburgh, those type of teams, even Tampa Bay, they can't match money with the Yankees. Tampa Bay kicks their ass every year. Oh, geez, I wonder how Tampa Bay does that with such a small payroll. Maybe it's because their analytical department knows what the hell they're doing. Maybe it's because their scouting department understands what talent is and what it takes to win at the major league level. The Yankees don't. The Yankees have no clue. None. They really don't have a clue how the hell to build a team at all. How many prospects have the Yankees had come up in the last 10 years and succeed? I always can name Aaron Judge. By the way, the Yankees are 30-19 with Aaron Judge, and they're 3 games under 500 without him. And it tells you how much Aaron Judge means to this team. This team would be nothing without Aaron Judge. I mean, even last year, the Yankees started off 64-28. They're probably playing over their head. Aaron Judge had a monumental season, one of the greatest seasons in the history of baseball. Literally carried the Yankees the entire year. And as good as the Yankees were at the beginning of the year, the last 70 games, this isn't a small sample size. This isn't 2 weeks. This isn't even a month. 70 games, almost half a year, they were 35-35 over the last 70 games of last year. And again, this year, they're 9 games over 500, and most of that is against Cincinnati and Oakland. How many prospects? Where's the talent? I'm not going to give up on Anthony Volpe. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Anthony Volpe's a bust, but let's face it, Volpe's hitting 185. Might be time to send the kid down. It's amazing. They don't give any other kid a long opportunity. The kids will come up here and tear the ball, cover up the ball for 2 weeks and send them right back down to the minors. And then they end up trading when you never hear from these guys again. But for years, we've heard about these big-time prospects coming out of the Yankee farm system. We never see them. And when they come up here, they never produce. Where's Cabrera? Where's Peraza? Where's Florial? Where are all these guys? Where's Austin Wells? Where are all these guys? You hear all this wonderful stuff about Jason Dominguez. And if the Yankees, if it's anything like what the Yankees have done the last 10 years, Dominguez is going to come up to the majors. He ain't going to be any good. What about the pitching? The Yankees have no clue on how to develop pitching, how to draft pitching. They have no idea. Remember Andrew Brockman? Remember they drafted that guy? No one needed Tommy John. So he never did anything in the majors. This is a first-round draft pick for the Yankees. They go out, they get Carlos Rodon. I actually liked that move because I thought Rodon was good. But that's been a disaster. You go back to Kevin Brown was a disaster. Randy Johnson was a disaster here. Carl Pavana was a disaster here. Sonny Gray was a disaster here. Frankie Montas was a disaster here. How come the Yankees don't know how to scout pitching, develop pitching, or understand what real pitching is? Now, when you go out and you, once in a while, when you spend $300 million on a pitcher, you're going to hit. Garrett Cole's been pretty damn good for us. I'm not going to get on Garrett Cole's case. He's certainly had his ups and downs, but it's been more up than down. Sabathia was fantastic for us. A.J. Burnett, not so fantastic for the Yankees. How the hell can you have such resources and never figure out how to develop your own talent? How is that possible? Every year it's the same thing. This team is hitting .234. I mean, that is absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic. This team does the same thing. They don't know how to manufacture a run at all. The other day, we were watching the game, Pete and I, and what do you know? They actually did manufacture a run. They ended up losing the damn game, but IKF stole second base, went to third on a throwing error, and scored on a wild pitch. It was a manufactured run. The Yankees don't do things like that anymore. I understand the game of baseball has changed, okay? And as much as I don't like the fact that for whatever reason batting average doesn't matter anymore, it does. The Yankees are one of the worst teams in the league in batting average. And they're even worse in on-base percentage. People talk about how on-base percentage is a big thing. It's all about on-base percentage. That's an analytical thing. The Yankees, if I'm not mistaken, are fourth from the bottom with a .303 on-base percentage to go with a .234 batting average. And again, this is a team that has almost a $300 million payroll. What the hell is this team doing? You know what I want to know? They get rid of Gio Urshela. Gio Urshela's hitting 300. He's close to 300 every year. They get rid of him and they bring in Josh Johnson. What was the point of that? Josh Johnson, shitty skunk mullet, as we love to call him, because that mullet's terrible, and he's shitty. The guy's like 6 hits all year, 5 more home runs. So if he doesn't hit a home run, he doesn't produce. It's hard to hit home runs. I mean, you're not going to hit 150 home runs in a year. So Josh Johnson's useless unless he's hitting the ball out of the park. He costs a fortune. The left side of your infield for the same price last year could have been Gio Urshela and Carlos Correa. Instead, it's IKF. Well, now IKF's playing out of position and Josh Johnson. And all the Yankees play out of position. My God, the outfield the other day was McKinney, Cordero, and IKF. Are you serious? The outfield is supposed to be Stanton, Judge. Now, I understand these guys are hurt, but Stanton, Judge, and Bader, and instead you got, I'm sorry, it was Calhoun. You had Calhoun out there. Calhoun, IKF, and McKinney. This is a Yankee outfield. These are the guys on the Yankees, really? This is the lineup you're putting out night in and night out? Last night, the highest average in that lineup was Anthony Rizzo with 270. The next highest was Gleyber Torres at 253. I'm sorry. I don't care what analytics say. Batting average matters because if you have a high batting average, it means you're on base. And again, people talk about, the average don't matter, the on-base percentage matters. But again, the Yankees don't walk either because their on-base percentage sucks. And when they do get on base, if they're not hitting home runs, they don't drive in runs. What I want to know from the Yankees, and it's an honest question. It's an honest question because they run this type of team back every season. And every season it doesn't work. Every season they're not getting to the World Series. They're not winning a World Series. They're not improving. What is their goal? What is the Yankees' end game? What is their end game? Seriously. What is the New York Yankees' end game year in and year out when they go into the offseason meetings and they're going to free agency and they're thinking about trades and they're doing this and they're doing that? What exactly are they looking at to go, this is the move that puts us ahead? The only move that they made this year was getting Carlos Rodon. That was it. And he hasn't pitched one inning for the Yankees. And they signed Aaron Judge, which they absolutely had to sign Aaron Judge. They had to sign him. Okay? So what move did they make? Where did they improve? Where did they improve? How can they sit there and go, we won 99 games last year, although we were 35-35 down the stretch and got our ass beat by Houston once again because the Yankees aren't as good as Houston. They're not as good as Tampa Bay. And instead of trying to do things differently, they keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. That is the definition of insanity, okay? You keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. You go to the gym. You don't do anything different. You don't change your diet. I shouldn't even say go to the gym. You want to lose weight. Well, you don't change anything. You don't change your diet. You don't start exercise. You don't change your lifestyle. Why would you expect to lose weight? You keep running the same type of team out there that's all or nothing, home run or nothing, low on base percentage, low batting average, playing the guys out of position, mishmashing a bunch of lineups every night, different lineup every night. This guy's leading off. Now he's hitting sixth. Now he's hitting eighth. Now he's hitting second. Every night, it's the same thing. They're absolutely clueless. And every year, it's the same thing. So I want to know what the Yankees' end goal is. Because when I was a young man, which was a long time ago now, in the 90s, when I was a young adult, now I'm a middle-aged adult, but when I was a young adult, this team, you look at the batting average, you look at the on-base percentage, they always led the league in batting average and on-base percentage, and they were always near the top in home runs. It's amazing how they could do it all. It's amazing when Gene Michael and Bob Watson were in charge of this team, the amount of talent that they drafted, the amount of talent that they traded for, everything they did worked. Getting guys like Paul O'Neill, getting guys like Jimmy Key, getting guys like David Wells, getting guys like David Cohn, drafting guys like Andy Pettitte. Even though the Yankees still never really drafted a good pitcher in my lifetime, a good starting pitcher besides Guidry and Pettitte, I can't think of a starting pitcher that the Yankees drafted that was actually good for more than 5 years. Outside of Guidry and Pettitte, we're going back into the 70s. We're talking almost 50 years. Somebody tell me a pitcher that the Yankees drafted that had a successful run of 5 or more seasons besides Guidry or Pettitte since 1976 or 75, whenever Guidry was drafted. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing somebody. You know, they went out, they added, their trades worked. They got a Tino Martinez. They got a Jeff Nelson. They got a Mike Stanton. They got a Scott Brocious. Like I said, they added a David Wells, a David Cohn. They put it together. They knew how to build a team. Those two guys know how to build a team. I don't know what these guys are building. I don't know what they're trying to build. But it's unfathomable to me how a team with the amount of resources and the amount of money that the Yankees have, and they can't figure out how to draft players to come up and be major league stars or even all-stars. You don't need to be a superstar, but like an all-star. It's not that hard to make the All-Star team. Just have a good first half of the season. You can make the All-Star team. Even Trevino made an All-Star team. But they don't do it. And they don't know how to get pitching. They don't understand how to build. Now, Nestor Cortez is a nice story, but he ain't that good. Severino's been trash. I mean, he's been hurt, but he's no good. What are they doing? What exactly is this team doing? What exactly is their end goal? I can't figure it out. What I do know is this team is very tough to watch. Yeah, now and again, they're going to hit a home run. They're going to get hot. They're going to beat up on Cincinnati. They're going to beat up on Oakland. They're going to beat up on teams like Detroit and Kansas City. We know they're going to beat the hell out of those teams. Those teams are no good. So we know for a week or two when they're playing those teams, oh, look at the Yankees. But then when they have to actually play a decent team, or God almighty, they lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox and then 2 out of 3 to the freaking Red Sox. Neither one of those teams are 500 coming in. The Red Sox might have been 500, but they're right around 500. The White Sox, not. One of the worst teams in the American League. The Yankees can't beat them. They can't beat the Red Sox. They can't beat anybody good. And like I said, man, every night, they don't hit home runs. They don't score. So it doesn't even matter who the hell's on the mound. If they're not running into really bad pitches, they're not scoring runs. It's inconsistent. It's tough to watch. And it's boring. Quite frankly, it's boring. If you grew up when I did, if you were alive in the 90s, even the 80s, the Yankees were excited. The pitching was ass in the 80s. It was terrible. That's why they lost. But God almighty, you had Ricky Henderson leading off. You had Don Mattingly winning batting titles and MVPs. You had a Hall of Famer in Dave Winfield. You had a all-star caliber second baseman in Willie Randolph. You had an all-star caliber outfielder in Ken Griffey Sr. They were an exciting team to watch offensively. They were really good. Their pitching was just absolutely atrocious. And then in the 90s, they put it all together, and they were an exciting team. And every night they took the field, you felt like they were going to win. You felt like they were going to find a way to win. You know, they battled. They worked the pitcher. You know, they worked the pitch count. They got on base. They did little things. This team hasn't done little things in years, especially since Boone came on board here. So I don't know what the deal is with the Yankees. I really don't. It's just a tough team to watch. And I'm sorry, getting a walk and hitting a 2-run homer and winning a game 2-1, that's boring to me. Granted, each their own, but that's boring to me. That's my opinion. That's boring baseball. Walk a guy, maybe get a hit, and just sit back and wait for a guy to hit the ball out of the park. That's boring baseball. It's just boring. And it's hard to watch night in and night out. It really is. Anyway, that's all I got in this video. 15 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Ring-a-ding-ding. The bell will be live for the NBA Finals Game 5. Nuggets are probably going to close this out. And hopefully I see you then. It's Baddog and I'm out. Peace.